Welcome back to another episode of Two in the Cooler, folks. If you want to support the show even further, you can do something nice for yourself and check out the merch because we got a lot of cool, new, great stuff on there. We've got the slides, perfect way to finish off the summer. Buy yourself a nice new pair of slides. Those are really sick. We got water bottles, pint glasses, bucket hats, and, of course, the hoodies that I love so much, and the t-shirts. And these t-shirts, they're not those cheap-ass t-shirts you're getting from everybody else, that Gildan brand or whatever it is. These t-shirts are tri-blend material, folks. That is Target quality. And you get all that stuff at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. The link is going to be in the description of this episode. You can also get to it from our Instagram bio. Check that stuff out. We've got all kinds of great products on there, not just for this show, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin' and Quested, the other two podcasts that we produce right here. So if you want to get something that's going to make you look and feel phenomenal, again, you can find that at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Folks, we all know that grocery stores are the biggest problem facing this country today. The parking lots are an absolute mess, and then you walk in there and it's just this labyrinth of products. Nobody knows where anything is. It's a terrible situation. And then, let's say you finally make it out of there, you pull into the driveway, and you realize you forgot one last thing. What are you going to do, turn around and go back? Absolutely not. Don't put yourself through that. Use Instacart, because with Instacart, you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. And if that's not enough for you, the best part is that Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you got to do is spend $10 and Instacart will deliver whatever you're looking for right to your front door, absolutely free. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this show description. Make things a little easier on yourself and start using Instacart. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show Schemin' and Dreamin' or Quested, the new Dungeons & Dragons podcast that we produce right here, you can reach out to us via email at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Podcasting, it's blowing up. People can't get enough of other people talking. I'm one of them. And it's awesome because it's bringing a lot of large companies like State Farm and even McDonald's. McDonald's is advertising on podcasts now. It's fucking insane. It's bringing them away from traditional media because podcast advertising has been so effective. And that's really, really cool to see. The problem is it doesn't leave any room for smaller or local companies to get in on the action, but that's why we are here. So if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits of podcast advertising, you'd be crazy not to. Again, you can reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
Carl Azuz, our goddamn legend. You can take that logo.
We gotta get Carl Azuz on the pod.
I would love to have Carl Azuz on the podcast.
I wonder if he's still working.
That would probably be the pinnacle of the podcast to me.
Would he be?
He's one of my white whales of podcasting.
Really?
Getting Carl Azuz on here.
I bet you we could. I think we could do it. We might have to zoom him in, but we could. I think we could.
His puns.
I don't remember his puns.
That was his whole shtick. That was all he did was puns.
The only thing I remember about him is his haircut.
No. Well, yeah. He was like for people who don't know who he is, he was like if the Property Brothers had a third brother that wasn't a twin.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't really look like him. That's what I mean. But he would fit.
Yeah, he's not
well with
right.
That
he's like a much, 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 much less handsome version of them. Like a much.
You
less
don't remember
handsome
his
brother.
puns? Like that was his entire thing on CNN for Children.
Yeah, he was like the host of the CNN for Kids.
Talk about propaganda.
Carl Azuz.
Fucking Carl Azuz.
I wonder how he did over like the pandemic and everything. We got to do a wellness check on Carl Azuz.
Carl, if you're out there,
I bet you. I feel like we can get Carl Azuz.
Carl, in your next video, wear a yellow shirt if they're holding you captive.
Oh man,
that's the power of love, baby. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I watched a documentary last night. This is what I was going to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish it though.
Okay.
I had to go to sleep. It was like 5:30.
Yeah.
It was about Alcatraz though.
Are you kidding me?
But it
I
wasn't.
want to talk Alcatraz too.
I love you. Got Alcatraz.
I got Alcatraz on the brain.
Oh no way! This is the best day ever. I fucking love Alcatraz. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
I think that Alcatraz is such a stupid idea.
Oh, it's so.
Hold on.
No.
Let me explain. I just think it's the funniest. Alcatraz is such a funny idea to me because it's like, let's take all the bad people and we'll just put them on an island. That's like something from a comic book.
Harry
and it's
Potter.
like they're not super villains. They're just guys. And they're like, we got to put them on this rock.
Okay, I realize that, but this was in like the 60s when like mob bosses were running the world. Like that's who was going there. They weren't just putting guys there. They were only putting people there that were like escaping out of every other prison they put them in because they had, the help to do so.
Right.
So
it's still funny to me though. It's still
Bay.
just a funny idea.
I think it's so cool. I think it's such a cool place.
It is cool that it exists. I really want to do like a tour of it.
Yeah, over 1 million people go there every year. It's open to the public.
So what was the deal with the documentary?
And the documentary was not that good. They National Geographic has like this series that's called like Drained, and it's like they have this new technology now where they can like completely create like super accurate 3D models of like what things look like if you were to drain the water out of them, like oceans and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and they talk about like why it is that Alcatraz was like unescapable and stuff like that. And one of the things that I'd never thought of that I thought was like kind of cool but crazy is like one of the worst parts about being on Alcatraz was that you could easily see San Francisco. Like you were only a mile away from it. So every day you had to stare at like that giant city. And all you had to do, it was only a mile away. All you had to do was get there and you couldn't do it.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal.
Because the water there, we've been to San Francisco.
Yeah, we've got that picture of us both like sitting on those rocks with the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
God, my smile was so fucked up. My teeth
Bad
were.
Yeah, I had really bad teeth too. Shout out to braces.
Shout out to braces. I want to get because my
too.
shit has
I'm the
been
same
fucked
way.
up
I'm the
again.
same way.
It's not like as bad as it was before,
No,
obviously,
it
but
never
like,
would be. We were both.
Yeah, just like
agree.
fucking Cletus the slack-jawed yokel,
Yeah,
essentially.
we
like that fucking the one Tiger King guy. Like that's kind of what my teeth looked like. Just the eye roll that you just gave me. But yeah, I want to get those like.
What do you got on
Whatever that
Alcatraz?
is.
You just want to talk.
I just wanted to talk.
That was just happening on your mind.
Yeah, I was thinking about it like 2 nights ago. I was like, man, Alcatraz, like that's funny. That's just so funny.
No, I think it's a great idea.
It's a cool thing.
The reason that they had to, the reason that does well, I don't get why they don't just like rebuild it and fucking make it Alcatraz again. I think it'd be a great.
Yeah,
idea.
that's a good question. Or at least do like
that's
a different
why
Alcatraz.
that's what they had to. That's why they had to like close it was because, it's in the middle of the ocean and like
Wear
the
and tear.
concrete and like even like the steel like that it rusts and it breaks and people. It was just like it was easy for prisoners to like attempt to escape. They just could never succeed.
Right, they just died. They could
People
get to
be
the
dying.
ocean, but then that's it.
Yeah,
Right.
people be dying. Except there's three guys that were never found.
What is one of them? The Birdman? Is that a real thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
They escaped together and they are probably dead.
Yeah.
Like they don't think that they success, but they never
You're right.
found him. There was a guy there was 2 guys that got out, and there's like a rock not that far away from Alcatraz called like Little Alcatraz Island.
Little Traz.
Yeah, Little Traz.
Good rap name. I
And
call that
2
rap
guys.
name.
So 2 guys escaped. They found the one guy on Little Traz, like waving his hands, like asking them to come pick him up.
Yeah.
Please. And the other guy made it all the way actually to the base of the bridge, but he was so exhausted that like he did the same thing. He tapped. He was like, "Yeah, like I'm here.
Right.
Like, just come grab me and scoop me back up and bring me home."
That's got to be brutal. That's got to
Yeah.
be as disheartening as it gets. But that is true. Like that type of exhaustion that you get from treading water like that, or trying to swim. I mean, that catches
And
up
it's
to you
like
really quick.
dangerous water, and it's cold, and there's sharks.
Oh, there's sharks too?
Oh yeah, great whites, a lot of them.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it used to be like a myth Like, back when it was open, it was like
Yeah.
there's like great white sharks in there. But since then, it's obviously been proven. Like there's videos of people taking tours of Alcatraz, and there's like great white sharks like attacking, jump attacking seals while they're like sitting there touring Alcatraz.
Man, I saw this video. I feel like I said this a couple weeks ago, so forgive me, but I saw this video. I'm one of those like crazy nature accounts on Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw this video of a great white shark eating a sea turtle, and it was eating it like, from the butt first.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like out of the water, the sea turtles. And I just couldn't help thinking, like, before, like, even, what year is this? Even like 60 years ago or something, if you had seen that, it's the only thing you would have talked about for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Every get together, every time you met new
You're the
people.
guy that saw the sea turtle.
Yes, it'd be like, every time you'd meet a new person, it'd be like, when am I about to drop the sea turtle story on them? And there would be people who definitely, for sure, would not believe you.
Yeah, you didn't see that.
But now it's like, I literally just watched it for 15 seconds, went on with my day.
Yeah, like, no,
That's
all right.
so crazy.
It's
to
Shark
me.
Week.
Now is Shark
Right
Week?
now, right?
I
This
can
current
never
week.
keep track.
I know. I think I might tune in when I get home today.
There was a time when...
I love Shark Week.
Yeah.
I still love Shark
I remember
Week.
when we went to, like, whatever
Probably Rainbow
Carolina we
Cove.
went to.
We were there for Shark Week a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, Rainbow Cove was...
Awesome.
I was thinking, because
I'd love to
our
go back
parents were
soon,
there, like,
yeah.
the other... So I was just thinking about how hot it would be, and we'd have the air conditioning in the room go so crazy that, like, the windows were fogged up.
Windows, yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah.
I always liked when we were little going there because the hotel blinds were on like a weird track thing, like a pulley system, and I was obviously super into pirates, so I would be like, this is as close to hoisting the mainsail as I can get at this age.
Yeah. One of like the last times we ever went, like that we participated, I remember you and Mom drove down Sunday morning like we usually do, and Dad and I met you guys there Sunday evening because we had came straight from Chiclet Cup. We had came right from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being so exhausted that I slept for like 17 straight hours.
Whoa. 17?
And then like woke up and I was like, it was like 4:00 the next day.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, what's going on, everybody? Let's cove it up. Let's do some coving.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said COVID at first. I was
No,
like, that was
coving.
years before. Coving.
Just
coving.
coving. Just coving. Paddleboarding across.
Oh my God, that was crazy. That's wild that we did that.
Yeah.
Because that's like, thinking back on
3
that,
miles.
That was far.
It's about 3
that was really
miles.
far.
Yeah.
That was super fun though. I love paddleboarding.
And we were stuck though, remember?
Yeah, we did get stuck. We did get stuck on little trails.
Thank God they thought about like maybe we should go see if they ever made it across. And they came
What
and
a
picked us up on.
stupid idea.
Yeah, like imagine us. It was getting dark. Imagine us having to go back.
That would have been wild. Then I was exhausted. I remember that was right after I went to Boys State too.
Shout out
to Boys State.
I
That's
had,
the longest I've ever
I had
slept.
somebody. Actually, I might have commented on our Instagram.
I think so. Oh, I think
Coach Harmon. He commented, and then he texted me about it too. Shout out, unbelievable guy. We should have him on the show.
Okay.
Big time, and he would come on. But yeah, he said he went to Boys State too.
Do you know what year it would have been?
He's my age, so probably the year after you.
Yeah, Godspeed.
Except
buddy.
the difference between him and you is he is like such a unbelievable human and like a hard worker, and he seems like somebody who should be at Boys State.
It was weird how I even got in there. I don't think I said this when we were talking about it, but I actually had to get a special exemption to go because they only take 2 guys from every school in the area, and they had chosen the 2 guys already.
Well, you don't have to
I'm
say.
not
You
gonna say
tell
their
me
names,
afterwards.
but when I went in for like the interview, you interview with 2 like American Legion
Mm-hmm.
dudes, and they liked me so much that they were like, they like signed this little piece of paper and like you can go. So I had to. I wasn't supposed to go to work that day, man. I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be on that boat.
And here we are all these years later.
Yeah.
That's the power of love.
What's your deal with Back to the Future?
I watched. Okay, and I know you know this. Like whether it's a bad day, a long day, like a long week, whatever, and you're like, fuck. Like you finally sit down and you're kind of like almost ready to go to sleep. But you're like, I gotta just watch something that's like familiar, that just like is so good. Like maybe you haven't seen in a while. So I sit down the one day to watch. I'm like, I gotta just like watch something good. Let me see what's on there. And I'm like, dude, Back to the Future. Like, love this movie. Put it on. It's such a sad movie to go back and watch his dad get bullied so fucking hard. And, like, all of them get bullied just for, like, being poor and stuff like that. Like, I watch it and I'm like, this is not a comedy. Like, this is serious, like, stuff right here going on. I remember thinking it was, like, cool and funny and, like, just different when I watched as a child. Now I watch it, I'm like, this was a horrible life. Yeah, these poor fucking people.
It really is an insane movie. It's what? Credit to Robert Zemeckis, who directed it and co-wrote it with Bob Gale. I mean, credit to both of them, because you're right. The tone of that movie is very light, but all of the elements, all the story elements, are super dark, depressing. Like it's hack at this point to talk about how like his mom tries to have sex with him and stuff. So that's like whatever. But the shit about the dad being bullied, that's 100% on point, because that guy is just so sad.
And even like
Crispin Glover,
like when he like, I feel like a whole basis of how him and Doc intertwine eventually. Anyways, how poor he is. Like, yeah, his life then when his dad is still like getting bullied as.
That's the thing. Like when
like that opening scene when they're sitting there like eating those TV dinners, like that's like dinners, so depressing.
Everything about like his and that's also a good credit to that scene. Like it's a short scene, but you can immediately get the family dynamic, especially between his parents. It's very subtle, but it's super effective. And his brother as well is a loser. His sister. I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah. You look like Velma. It's 1985. Yeah. Even when your dad is a rich author at the end of the movie, you're still going to have a tough go.
Yeah.
Although I think she does something pretty good. I can't, at the end when like the brother walks in and he's like wearing a suit, so like his whole deal is changed and stuff.
Yeah. That's my problem with it. That is my sole problem. Like, just because I hadn't watched it for probably like 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. I hadn't watched that movie in a long time, and I was excited to sit back down and watch it. And I was like, this is not at all how I remember feeling when I watched this movie as a child, like on repeat all the time. We used to watch it, I feel like, all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch it a lot because I had it on DVD.
Yeah, you had all 3 of them on DVD.
I only had the first 2 on DVD. Oh, but then somebody gave me the box set.
Yeah.
I had the individual DVDs of the first 2. And then somebody gave me the box set.
You also had The Sandlot on DVD?
Hell yeah.
But it was in a combo set with like The Christmas Story.
No, the Christmas Story combo set was a Christmas combo set with Christmas Story, Elf, and Christmas Vacation. Sandlot was in its own
Did you
thing.
keep them in the same place in your room? Because I remember I'd be like, can I watch Sandlot? You'd be like, no. And I'd be like, you can put it in for me. And you'd be like, no, you can't watch it. And I have to break into your room and fucking watch, to steal the DVD to watch The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucked up thing that you used to do.
No, sorry about that. I don't know why. I don't know why they...
No, you can't watch that. What do you mean I can't watch it? It's sitting up there. It wasn't even like it was like VHS where every time you rewound it, it might get a little shittier quality. Yeah. Like, it was a DVD.
My stuff was very important to me back then.
Yeah, I was going to give it back.
Yeah, I know. But also, like, there was you went into my room a lot. You snuck into my room.
Mine is yours, Andy.
That's not true in the slightest.
It is. If you wanted something of mine, I would have let you use it.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know if that's true because you had nothing that I wanted. But even when I had stuff and I said don't go, you would sneak. I feel like you would sneak into my room quite a bit. You've told that story about like you and Noah, I think, watching Zathura or whatever in my bed when I was not there.
Yeah, I don't know why we would. I don't know. But we did that. That's happened.
Yeah. That movie, I think.
I still think you were there.
No, there's no way I was there. Ooh, strong. Yeah, that movie, I've thought about rewatching that one a couple times, but I just don't. I feel like it's actually not that good.
I've been I have a hard time rewatching certain movies now. I'm in a rut movie wise. Like I can't find any good movies. I feel like they come out either in theaters and I don't watch them because I did go back to the movie theater recently for the first time since COVID, and I love the movie theaters. Smash some popcorn, smash some pretzels with cheese, smashed a large pop, like just having a ball, just throwing wads of cash at these people.
Oh yeah.
Also, we were never big. We were never big like butter on popcorn people.
No, I don't like that one bit.
See, you don't like that. See, I don't mind it. It's just you and our father never ate butter on popcorn.
It's gross.
So I went to the movies the other day, and they're like, "Can we get some butter on the popcorn?" And they're like, "Yeah, you actually do it yourself."
Oh yeah, at the AMC.
Yeah, and so what this woman working did to perfect the way that the butter goes on the popcorn was filled my popcorn container half up, allowed me to butter it. I shook it. I gave it back, hit me with the second half of the popcorn, and then buttered it again and shook it again.
Oh, see, okay. I mean, good method, but like I can just smell that as you describe, and it's so gross.
But when you get popcorn at a movie theater, it has butter on it.
It's got something on it.
Yeah, like
but it's
some
like,
type
but
of,
it's.
Remember when popcorn seasoning was a thing at the Regal for a while? Like they'd try to sell you the small jar.
I think
of
they
popcorn
still
seasoning.
have those, but I've never seen anybody purchase
Nobody
them. It
has.
sounds dumb. They've got that Cheetos popcorn now as well, which I've never seen anybody get. But that also sounds
popcorn.
That also sounds gross.
They got Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you tried it?
Fuck no.
I'm just curious.
I don't like Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
I don't like Flamin' Hot Dust is the thing. Because they have like the
Right.
Flamin' Hot Doritos now. They have Flamin' Hot everything.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the Flaming Hot Dust.
Right.
I
Which
like
is
hot
what
stuff.
makes the thing.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but you know how some people like I don't like that dust. I like hot. If you gave me another type of Cheeto that was spicy, I'd probably enjoy it. I like the spicy
Sure.
Doritos.
Yeah.
I don't like the Flamin' Hot.
No, it's
dust
just
itself.
different. Yeah, that stuff is weird.
There's a stigma around that dust.
About the Cheetos dust? Yeah, sure. And in some cases, deservedly so. I think it's gross. I think Flamin' Hot Cheetos are disgusting.
What
but
about hot
each their own.
fries?
Hot fries, I don't really go for those either. Not that they're like, I just think they're trash. I just think they're really trashy. And I don't want anything to do with them.
There's just,
I don't want nothing
you
to
have
do
a
with them.
stigma behind them.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I am prejudiced
but I
towards
do like
hot fries.
What about Takis? You ever had a Taki?
Come on.
Do you like
I
Takis?
just said hot fries were trash. You think I'm down in Takis?
Takis
Absolutely
are on
not.
the come. I don't like Takis.
No.
Can I tell you why I don't like Takis?
Please.
They're too crunchy.
I think they just look and smell disgusting.
Have you ever had a Taki?
No.
They have like other. No, you're probably like.
They've got like the blue ones too, which is gross.
I
don't know
never
why.
gone,
I
though.
mean, these
what
things-
about them is blue?
Like the dust is
No,
blue.
I know, but like why? What flavor are they?
Blue
that they're supposed to be?
raspberry.
That's what I imagine, and that sounds disgusting. But no, the reason I don't like Takis is because they're too crunchy. It is the crunchiest little roll of like whatever it is ever.
Yeah. That
Like-
sounds good to me.
No, it's bad crunchy. It's bad crunchy.
All
It's
right,
like-
I'll take your word for it. I'm never gonna try them.
Never gonna try a Taki. $5. Yeah, you try Taki. I'll give you $5 to try one single Taki.
I would only ever do it like if we did it on the show, because maybe Emily
We should
could
do
get
a
clip
snack
on.
episode.
Okay.
Have you seen? You're not on TikTok, but maybe you've seen it on the internet. Those people that own those stores that sell like exotic snacks.
No.
Oh, Andy, we should do a snack episode.
We can do a snack episode, sure.
It's like
Like what?
they sell like all of these exotic snacks that they sell in like other countries, like shrimp flavored Lay's chips from like
Okay.
China. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like all the different kinds of stuff. That was for whatever reason that's the only one I can think of. But like stuff that they don't sell here. But some of it, like obviously that's a more obscure one. But they have like all different kinds of crazy stuff, like Twix cookies and stuff like that they sell. And like just stuff
Sure.
like that.
Just snacking? Yeah, we can make that.
Oh, Andy, we should do a snack. Maybe we'll just do a video on it, but a snack vid.
Yeah.
When we wrap this up, we should take a quick stroll down memory lane and not memory lane. That's the
Yeah.
lane I referred to.
Okay.
When somebody says take
I
a quick
only know
stroll-
one lane.
Yeah, I only know one lane. Snack lane.
I do have something else that I wanted to mention to you, and that is that over the weekend, I finally, for the first time, watched The Da Vinci Code all the way through.
And you haven't watched Angels or Demons yet?
No.
Or Inferno?
No.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't. I thought it was kind of shitty. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was pretty dumb.
You're a fraud.
You're
a fraud,
I'm not
Andrew.
a fraud. What do you mean?
The Da Vinci Code is legitimately an adult national treasure.
I disagree. I honestly feel like National Treasure, even though perhaps it's geared towards younger audiences, has more respect for the people watching it than the Da Vinci Code does. The Da Vinci Code, it was like so much of it was expositionary, which I guess
What the hell does that mean?
like they're just kind of like holding your hand, walking you like through everything in a way that I don't know. And just the part in Ian McKellen, like you've talked about the Holy Grail
Yeah.
on this podcast, like how it's Mary Magdalene and stuff in the thing.
Yeah, it's her vagine.
And just like that whole Ian McKellen explaining all of that stuff, like that whole scene is so long, and it's just them sitting there, and he's like, huh?
Well,
Oh.
I suppose that I understand where you're coming from in that scene, but you, as of all people, are being way too critical of this because that scene has two purposes. It has to explain that, but it also, they have to get found, right? Because the house, they have to flee. Spoiler alert. But
Yeah, fuck it. We're spoiling the Da Vinci Code.
And like, what about when they go to that like bank?
Yeah, that part was cool.
Sick.
But I got
And he's like, it's a fake Rolex. You know what I mean?
yes, all of the build up is cool. But then when it's like, hey, here's what's happening, fell a little flat, and then the ending was just so obvious that I found it upsetting.
How does that one end again? They all jumble together.
It's
in my
like
brain.
it's when they reveal that the woman that Tom Hanks is with the whole time is the heir or whatever to the
that
Mary
was
Magdalene
obvious.
thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
was like,
that's why they connect it. Yeah, because his family is part of whoever sent him that was like the last. It was her uncle.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the last keeper of the bloodline.
the guy who told her that he was her grandfather, but it turned out he wasn't.
Grandfather.
He was
Yeah,
just,
that's
like,
what
watching
it was.
her.
Yeah, because he was the keeper of the bloodline.
And some
literally
some of the flashback stuff was just really weird.
I don't remember the with her flashbacks.
Yeah, with her flashbacks in particular.
Thinking
it was
back,
strange.
because when that guy that you were talking about is like, did they teach you how to solve puzzles and shit like that? Yeah. And she's like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how to solve puzzles.
I can't solve puzzles.
Yeah.
But
I still think it's cool. See, the reason I like those movies is because I love like history conspiracy. Like that's why I watch these documentaries.
I agree.
And that is like the whole basis of that movie and the whole basis of like National Treasure. You know what I mean? It's like these
It just seemed
fictional things that come from the the littlest bit of like, storyline.
It's what it is. Keeping with comparing the two. Ben Gates, when he explains things about history, it doesn't feel pretentious because he says it very straightforward. And I can understand how it could come off if you were like actually with him as maybe a little jarring, but he's so focused on the treasure and the facts that it's just like, oh yeah, this and this. Again, Ian McKellen's character and everything, when he's going through all this stuff, he's like, how impressive is it that I know all this stuff?
Yeah,
Am I
but
right?
that is his character though. That's the whole
That's
thing
fair.
behind him. Whereas like
And also, but again, with National Treasure and Ben Gates, like he's got the other characters to play off so well, and there was really no balance between the characters.
But
in
that's
the Da Vinci
because
Code,
like
I think.
the difference is that Ben Gates is actively looking for a treasure. They bring in Tom Hanks and say like, "Hey, we need your help because you're the expert in this." Like he's
Sure.
not like itching to get involved. He's like, "No, I don't want to." and then
Right. It's
you know
not.
he's
yeah.
he's just swimming laps in the pool, and all of a sudden he sees the Popple symbol on this briefcase. That's how it starts, right? No, that might be the second one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's got to be. That's the second one.
Sorry.
That's cool. No, that's okay. I probably will.
You should.
I will watch it. I did like the
Because you want to know
albino
what the
guy a
second one's
lot,
about?
but it was.
That's what I mean when I
was
say
fucked.
adult, though. Like, there's some crazy shit that
Oh,
goes
yeah.
on. Anyway. The second one. Wait a minute. Oh, the second one's Andrew. You gotta watch that. What are you doing
I
tonight?
probably will watch the second one. I don't know. Got editing and going home. Maybe editing. Depends. Why, you want to watch Angels and Demons?
I don't want to watch
tonight?
it with you, but you should watch it. I might go home and watch. We could FaceTime.
No, that's all right.
Andy,
I will watch it.
the basis of that one, like, it's still obviously like religion involved.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Is Ewan McGregor in that? He Obi-Wan Kenobi? He's in one of them, I think. I might be getting it confused. But whatever. You also, because I want to talk to you about the Chiclets Cup, but I
Okay.
want to say one more thing that's been on my mind, and it's because you brought up the Sandlot. I've talked about A League of Their Own before.
Yeah.
I'm doubling down because I'll argue this. I think that pound for pound, baseball movies are the best sports movies. So they are. So if A League of Their Own is the best baseball movie, which we can all agree it absolutely is, then by osmosis, the transitive property, A League of Their Own is the best sports movie of all time.
I would put Bad News Bears 2 ahead of The League of Their Own.
Don't say that. That's just foolish. That's just a foolish thing to say.
The Sandlot, Major League, Benchwarmers, all three are better.
They're all phenomenal, but they are not better. A League of Their Own is literally in a league of its own, and I apologize that I
Field of
said
Dreams.
That. Field of Dreams, also spectacular, very good. I like the three that you mentioned before better than that movie. Still.
But that's not. But I'm still saying that.
But they're not on the level of A League of Their Own.
I made it a League of Their Own reference the other day, actually, just because of you. And it was
really?
not obviously you weren't there, but I
Yeah.
did, and yeah,
Thanks.
I was like,
I could feel
and I
it.
was like,
I got a little tingle
I
in
was
my
like,
spine.
A League of Their Own. Like I had to say, that's what I was referencing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, it doesn't matter whether
Do you really
people
want to
know
talk
it or
about
not.
all the better sports movies, or did you just want to talk about baseball sports movies? Because I would say that's not true. Like, you want
But there's I would say there's probably more baseball
Angels in the
movies than-
Outfield.
Excellent. Not A League of Their Own. I do love that movie, though. But it's not as good as A League of Their Own. And
I would say
again,
that the movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, the Disney movie about him making
Trying
the
out for the
Philadelphia
Eagles,
Eagles,
yeah.
is better than A League of Their Own.
that movie is good, but there's no way it's
Glory
better than A League of Their
Road,
Own.
another great Disney sports movie. Basketball.
Sure. But I also think there's
Coach
more.
Carter.
Okay, Coach Carter is overrated in my opinion, and also just to say that it's better than A League of Their Own is
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. Also spectacular. Did you ever see Shane Gillis's joke about?
No.
Oh my God, it's incredible. He talks about. His special is on YouTube. It's excellent, but the short version of it is how everybody down south is like racist, and then in Remember the Titans, that's the whole situation is like, we ain't gonna let them play on our team, to all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, the high school football team's 4-0, let's get down there. It's phenomenal. His special is spectacular. He's a funny guy. You should watch that. And Andrew Schultz's new special.
Yeah, he was on Part of My Take.
I just listened to that today.
Yeah.
I've been listening to him on all the shows.
Yeah.
But his special, it's
It was a funny interview.
It's worth watching. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's actually the reason, and kind of the reason that I quit my job when I did at the CBS station.
Why?
Well, because I got home that night and my fiance was at work, and I was like, I was just mad. So I was on my exercise bike, and I was listening to a podcast with him and Tim Dillon, and it got me real riled up. And essentially, a big part of what they were saying was what are you waiting for? And I I got off the bike and I was like, you know, like I was on the bike, so like I was like, you know, throwing up because of how much I had worked out, and I was like, fuck this, man. Like let's just get things going.
You were
It's
just
a
ride
phenomenal
until,
podcast.
ride until you puked?
That's how I used to do that a lot.
Fair enough. If you would keep riding after, though, then you'd eventually not be puking. You kept puking because you kept stopping when you puked.
Is that how that works? Is that like a true thing?
Well, like you puke because you're like not conditioned enough, right?
Yeah.
But if you just stop every time you puke, you're not getting any more. You're not conditioning yourself past the point of puke.
That's fair. All right, I'll keep that in mind for the next time.
That I don't know if that's like a scientific thing, but that's how I would look at it.
I think that makes sense. I don't know.
Like when we used to train and we
Yeah.
puke, you just keep training. You just get a quick puke in, and then you just keep going.
No, I agree.
And then eventually you just don't puke anymore.
Yeah. I only ever did that with like drinking back in the day, boot and rally. I remember the first time I ever boot and rallied. It was in Florida when my pals and I went down there. And I was like, wow, I can't be killed.
There's nothing that gets the boys fired up than a good boot and rally.
Yeah,
like an early one
it was
too.
super. It was because like we hadn't slept. We got there after, it took us super long to get down there because of
West Virginia
constant snowstorms.
Yeah,
and then it's like, well, we're here. Let's start cracking shit open, and then just vomit. But we kept it rolling.
Yeah.
God, that was a good time. But we got to talk about the Chiclets Cup, man, because I've been waiting to hear about it since.
Yeah.
Like all week.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? Fun fact for you.
Okay.
You and you texted me, and I appreciated the text. You texted me and said, "Good luck at your games tonight." And we had already played all our games for the day.
Oh well.
We already done. Yeah. No, but I was like, oh, he remembered that it was 6 Cups. Very nice text. That's why I just said thanks. Thanks, Andy. That's exactly what I said.
Did you play well in those games?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we did pretty good. So Thursday night.
Will you explain what it is, by the way? I assume people know, but I don't even totally know.
It's like it's just a hockey tournament.
Is it like roller hockey?
So they have 2 different divisions.
Okay.
They have 2 different. No, they have 2 different kinds of hockey. They have ball hockey, which is like on these small little rinks, like it's just on pavement. You just run around. And it's a street hockey ball, and it's 3-on-3 and a goalie, and you just run around and whack the shit out of it. So they have that part of it, and there's like I think maybe 6. Don't quote me on numbers, but let's say 6 divisions in that, like A, B, C, D. Then they have a co-ed division, and then they have an all-female division. Then they have the roller hockey side. So it's roller hockey. In the past, like this is only the 3rd one they've done, so it's kind of evolving. But like this was true roller hockey. Like it was on full rinks, roller hockey. You're playing. It's just like regular roller hockey. You play with a roller puck and 4-on-4 that is, and same
you
thing.
Have goalies?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. It's like A, B, C, D, whatever. I think B and C were combined for this tournament because I think I don't know exactly, but nevertheless, so that's what it is. So it's a big event. So Thursday night they had it's a players only party. So like you get a wrist, like it's like a festival wristband when you first sign in and register your team. You say like we're here, and you get like whatever, you get your wristband. Then you walk over to the players only party, and it was crazy. It was such a fun time. Like we could not stop saying it enough. It was at the Labatt House downtown, and this bar was packed to the rafters with just straight dudes. Like think of if you put like 600 of me in a bar, like just hats on, like you know what I mean? Just like that's what it was. It was just like the biggest like just like conglomerate of like just good dudes that you
just
could ever
good dudes, like
imagine.
hockey guys.
Yeah, just beauties. Like it was just like backwards hats everywhere. Just people having a good time. Great night. That night got a little long-winded, went a little out of control. No harm, no foul. Great time. They released their new beer. Right. Unbelievable. We got to drink it. It was a fun time. the games start on Friday, and they're at Riverworks downtown. So, have you ever been to Riverworks?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that main parking lot that's, like, right in the front of Riverworks. So, that's all closed off, and they've got 4 different hockey rinks set up for the ball hockey. And then they've got all this shit everywhere. They've got, like, the whole thing's sponsored by Body Armor. So, there's Body Armor stands everywhere. They've got Pink Whitney stands everywhere. They've got, like, food, blah, blah, the whole nine. They've got all these, like, games. It was an awesome night. You should just look at, like, pictures of it just to see kind of what they did. It was really, really cool. And then they obviously have the 2 rinks that in the winter they have ice on that are outdoors, and so if there's no ice on them, obviously you're playing roller hockey on those, and then just the whole venue. So Friday, boom, we had 2 games, 1:00 and 4:00. Won the first one, ended up losing the second one in a shootout, but it was a good game. And then Friday night they have like this huge party for like everybody, players, non-player, anybody who wants to come by. And upstairs they had an open bar just for players, so it was like VIP-ish upstairs, I guess. And then they had like live music. It was a super great event. Again, super fun time. Friday, right before the open bar starts, the last games of the day were at like 7:00. So we were 1-1. There's no points. It's just like wins and losses. So even though we lost in a shootout, it's still a loss. So there's 2 other teams. Like the 2 teams that we played had to play each other at 7:00. And depending on what happened, there was either a chance that if we were to finish as the number 1 overall seed out of these 3 teams, we would get an automatic bye to the championship. But it was there was a lot of things that had to go our way. So we're sitting there watching this game, and it was one of the craziest things I've ever watched. We have the tiebreaker list up as we're sitting here watching it. And long story short, we needed the team that we beat in the morning to beat the team that we lost to in a shootout 7-5. It needed to be 7-5 because it went like head-to-head. Well, there was no head-to-head as long as they win because everybody's 1-1. And then it's goals for, and then it's goals against, and then it's goal differential. It's like it goes down the list. So we're watching this game, and if it would have ended 8-5, 8-5, we would have needed they would have had to flip a coin. Like there was no tiebreakers left if it would have ended 8-5.
Okay.
And 8-6, it goes. It was just there was all this stuff that needed to go. So the game ends up ending 7-5. So we're going nuts, right? Because and it ended like an empty net goal, like all this stuff, right? So we're going nuts because we're like, we just got the 1 seed. We have an automatic bid to the championship game. So we're celebrating. I look at, they have an app like with all, the standings and the schedules and stuff.
Cool.
And it doesn't have us as the 1 seed. It has another team as the 1 seed. So I had to text this woman from the tournament, and I had to text her and say like, hey, you guys made a mistake. Like we went through the tiebreakers. We're supposed to be the 1 seed. And we were so we went through this thing fine tooth and comb, whatever the saying is.
Sure.
And we're so positive. But at the same time, I'm texting this woman like, if we're wrong, like we look like the biggest assholes ever, right? So I'm going back and forth with her, and I'm like, I'm here like for the party already, even though it doesn't start for like another 45 minutes. Like I can come find you guys and explain to you guys why I know, why we're the 1 seed, and blah 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 blah. Long story short, finally they get it figured out, and they're like, oh yeah, you guys are right. Like congrats. Let your team know. Like you're not playing at 1:15. You guys don't have to play until 3:15.
Nice.
The championship is. So we're all excited. Here's the kicker. So I had a wedding to go to on Saturday. So Saturday at 1:30 p.m. I had a wedding ceremony to be at. So I go to the wedding ceremony, and as we're getting ready for the wedding ceremony, so I'm not there yet, I find out that the reception and the cocktail hour and stuff doesn't start until 5:30. So I'm like, if this wedding is quick enough, if this ceremony is fast enough, which word on the street was that it was supposed to be for multiple reasons. One, yeah, I can get home, get my stuff, throw my suit on a couple hangers, go play in this game, hopefully win, fly home again, shower again, put my suit back on, and be at this wedding ceremony in plenty of time. And so that's what I did. So, and shout out to the people getting married. They're awesome people. Like, they're just the best people. Seriously, they really are. And the wedding ends, and they're, like, walking out, and they walk out, but then they're, like, waiting in the corner for the rest. They're, figuring they're going to take pictures, whatever. And everybody's walking out, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I see the groom, and he kind of, like, looks at me, and he's like makes like a hockey motion, because he knew I had talked to him about it a few weeks prior. So instantly I'm like, all right, I have to go. Turns out after the fact, he was asking like if we won. He didn't know that like we still had a game to be played. So I went, but so I did that. Unfortunately, we lost
in the championship.
Yeah, we lost in the championship. We should have probably won.
Sure.
It was just one of those games. I had no sticks left. I'd broken all my sticks on Friday. I was dropping sticks like flies. So I had to use somebody else's stick. It was like about 6 inches too short, and it was super like flat, whippy, flexy. Oh. So I was like playing with a Band-Aid. But I mean, we still it was a good game. We lost 7-5, and it was fun. And I wish we would have won.
Yeah.
But it was really, really probably one of the coolest events that I've ever been at in my entire life, because it was like a celebrity event for us. Like,
right.
It's one of those things where that's obviously a podcast I listen to. We had, I've listened to this since it was the birth of an idea to the previous two that they've done and hear about how cool it is. And then obviously when they announced that they were coming to Buffalo, registration opened at like 10 a.m. on some random day back in April, and I registered, you're on there right at 10 a.m. to register to make sure you get a spot, and then all of a sudden you're doing it and you're playing it, and it was just such a cool event, and they do it so well. It was awesome. It was a great weekend. Way too long of a weekend. Like by the time that wedding was done, and then I got through Sunday, and then I had a bunch of other stuff to do on Monday too. Like by the time I got home on Monday, it was like 10:45 p.m. And from like Thursday until Monday, except for when I was asleep, which I was coming home from those parties most of the time, so I was just going to sleep. I had probably been awake at home for like less than an hour in like the previous 4 days combined.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just repulsive. Like I need to just sit somewhere in a dark room for hours and hours. Not even like it was like a crazy, I was just exhausted. You play all those hockey games in that you start with Thursday night, and then you play all those hockey games outside. It's 1,000 degrees. You're sweating your gills off. Like it was so sweaty. And then you're there in between your games and stuff too, right? So you're just hot. You're just sweating the entire time, even if you shower or whatever. Same thing Saturday, and it was the longest weekend of my life. So much fun, though. An unbelievable event. Pure class, as they say.
It looked really cool. Man. I wish you would have won, too.
Yeah. No, I wish I would have won.
It's really cool that you made it that far, though.
Yeah. Yeah. The team that we lost to was actually the team that we had beaten in the first game, too.
Damn.
And they lost in the championship at the last tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, they obviously probably wanted it pretty bad.
Sure.
And
they, traveled?
Yeah, they're from Long Island, I think. There's a lot. Like, it's a huge, event. A lot of places, a lot of,
people coming from all across the
land.
Over.
Oh, yeah, from all over. So, it was fun. I think I said Long Island. I could be wrong.
Sure. They're from somewhere. That's not here.
But word on the street was Long Island.
Sure. That's what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
That's what it was all going around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good event, though. Should we do a little hooping of the week?
I was going to say the same thing. Let's do it. I'm excited for this one. This week's Who Would Win of the week is John Mulaney versus Jerry Seinfeld. This is a pound for pound. What a great matchup. This is, I think, toe-to-toe, one of the best matchups that we've done. just started rewatching all of Seinfeld again while it's still on Netflix. I don't know when they're taking it off, but I gotta watch it as much as I can before they do. And I think that John Mulaney, heavily influenced by Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, the guy, he's a little on the spectrum. There's not a lot that I think would drive him to physical violence. Like, I think, and I can see John Mulaney getting there pretty easily after a while. Are you looking up, like, how tall they are? I think John Mulaney's definitely taller. I don't know how tall Jerry Seinfeld is. He might be a short guy.
I think he's big.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
How big? You know what? That wouldn't surprise me too much.
They're about the same height. John Mulaney's 6 foot. Jerry Seinfeld's 5'11".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So neither of them are big.
No.
Midgets. Oh, can't say that anymore, can you?
I don't know. There's that one Mulaney joke that's like all about that.
Yeah.
But John Mulaney, I do think, like, you could get him to a point where he'd get flustered enough where he would lash out. And I think that in those moments, Jerry Seinfeld is kind of the guy who's, like, sidestepping, looking over you like, huh, what are you doing?
See, here's my thing that I'll say. I agree with you about Mulaney, but I think Seinfeld can get there too. Here's my thing. With Jerry Seinfeld, you really only see him in like 2 situations in that show. He's either surrounded by the people that he's surrounded with all the time, right? Elaine, George, Kramer, and then the extra people. But like it's always the same people in a sense that he's with when they're doing something that would drive other people to madness. So I think he has a level of, he's accustomed to that. So that doesn't necessarily count. On the flip side of it, a lot of times when you see him around strangers and they're doing something that, might drive somebody else to madness, his response for the most part is the you response, right? Like
who are these people?
To be a secret asshole to these people, and they don't realize that he's being an asshole to them, right?
Yeah.
Which plays for a while, but eventually that's what gets him out of that situation. So now you put them in a ring. One, John Mulaney's smart enough to know when Jerry Seinfeld's being an asshole, and he's going to call him on his bullshit. Mm-hmm. 2, him, like, and I guess it's goes hand in hand. He's never going to be an asshole enough to John Mulaney to like get him out of like this fight. You know what I mean? Because John Mulaney knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he's going to have a choice but to turn to violence, in which case I think he might have a lot of crazy in him. Like, he is a very like,
sure,
kind of crazy guy. He just does it a lot of times in a calm demeanor. Jerry also is the one person on that show that seems that even when things go wrong, somehow it always ends up going his way.
Right.
And that's kind of the contrast between him and all the other characters. And that's why he sees it as a, he can always look at it from a comedic standpoint, whereas the other people are the ones usually
they're
going
in
through
it. He's just
yes.
watching it from the outside. Yeah. And I would say Mulaney has definitely worse luck. Like, things definitely aren't going this way. Like, he's a lot of like, I'm in this situation now. And here we are.
I just think that Jerry Seinfeld has a little bit more, and grit is not the right word.
Okay, yeah.
But he has a little bit more to him because he was as famous as he was, and I'm sure he had to fight his own battles at times.
Sure.
Whereas John Mulaney, I feel like openly admits, like, I feel like he tells a joke where he's like, yeah, I am like a gay man that they forgot to make gay. Yeah. And I feel like he's very non-confrontational,
big time,
about certain things,
about
in the way,
everything.
The way that he's like, talks when he tells stories about himself. Obviously, I don't know him.
Yeah,
but like, he seems to shy away from a lot of things.
Here's the other thing about John Mulaney that needs to be taken into account, though. Big time drug addict.
Yeah, he's got some dog in him. Didn't he
He's
cheat
got
on his
some
wife
dog
and
in
shit?
No, he didn't cheat on his wife.
He beat his wife?
No, he didn't beat his wife. Jesus Christ!
I thought he did something not good though. It was just
no.
the drugs?
They just got divorced. Yeah.
Oh,
because
'cause
I
of the
guess
drugs.
I think she had a drug issue as well, and then he got back on drugs during COVID, and that led to he had to go to rehab and everything and stuff.
I knew he did something.
so-
I knew he was in the news.
Yeah. But you're right. He does have a little bit of that dog in him, and especially this last time that he was addicted to drugs, being as famous as he is and getting away with it for as long as he did. I mean, you got to be on some kind of shit to keep that on the down low as
Yeah.
much as he was able to
Yeah.
for a while. I think he's again mentions some other joke, like things about like getting into moving cars to buy cocaine. He freebased cocaine the night before his college graduation, stuff like that.
I don't know what that means.
It's when you smoke cocaine out of like an aluminum foil pipe. Yeah, you know who freebased cocaine? Tony Curtis from Some Like It Hot with his daughter Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah. And you know who Tony Curtis is too? He's the guy. That's why Daddy named the oil company in Some Like It Hot.
Which one's Some Like It Hot?
The one where they dress up like ladies. The old black and white movie. Marilyn Monroe's in it. Yeah.
With Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, yes.
That's that. Want to know what movie I was trying to connect it to? From the 80s, all those comedians they're at like a summer camp. They came out with a Netflix show about it.
Comedians.
You
at a
loved
summer
it.
camp.
It wasn't comedians, but I think a lot of them ended up being on like SNL. It was a movie, Andy.
Heavyweights?
No, like they were adults. Maybe it was the 90s.
Oh, Wet Hot American Summer?
Yes.
Yes, that was the 90s, and that movie is spectacular. Amy Poehler and Paul Rudd are in that movie. Amy
Yes.
Poehler's the only one. And Miles Teller's in that movie, who had written it for Jimmy Fallon.
Miles Teller, head writer for Jimmy Fallon.
No, what did I say? His name is A.D. Miles. That's what his name
Oh,
is.
I know
My
who
bad.
A.D.
I didn't
Miles is,
say.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking. I'm like, really?
I think
This guy's done it
I
all.
said Miles Teller.
You
Yeah,
did
yeah,
say
yeah.
Miles Teller.
I didn't mean to, but I saw Top Gun recently, and I
Did
want
you?
to see it
I
again.
still haven't
it's
seen it.
so good. It's incredible.
Why don't I want to do? I'm going to go to the drive-in. Back to the Who Would Win the
Back
Week.
to the Who would win. I do think though that once Jerry Seinfeld got going, once the motor started to rev, I think he beat the shit out of Mulaney. Mulaney just like the
I think
guy.
so, too.
He's just got that wiry frame.
Yeah, I think he's just. I don't think,
It's like hitting
I don't
a
think
dog
he
with
could
a
take a
newspaper.
punch.
Yeah,
and I don't think he can throw a punch. very
kid's got a glass
well,
jaw.
unless he's on drugs at the time.
Unless he's on drugs at the time. But
Is this sober or is he on drugs? Because if he's on drugs, it's a
if
different
he's on
fight.
drugs, then
You probably
that's
take Mulaney.
true. If he's on drugs, yeah, you probably take Mulaney.
But then we'd
I
have
would
this
s-
would
well,
have
you
we'd,
never
it'd have
know.
to be
You
no,
never know,
This
even
would have
then.
to be Mulaney on drugs versus Jerry Seinfeld, but it's just Mulaney versus Seinfeld, so
Right,
he's not on
right.
drugs. Mulaney not on drugs. I'm taking Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm
I
taking
agree.
Jerry Seinfeld too.
Yeah.
Can't go against him.
I do think it would be a very funny fight to watch.
It
though.
would be funny. It'd be so weird
Yeah,
because I think
it
they
be
would
very
both,
uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think you're right, but
Yeah.
we'll lock that in.
You think you're tougher than me? That's what Jerry Seinfeld would say.
Why? Oh my God! You know who Martin Short is?
Yes,
He's got the best Jerry Seinfeld.
he does a good Jerry
impression.
Seinfeld.
They only show it as like a cutaway thing in his Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee episode. But Martin Short, they're like crossing a street, and Martin Short's just like strolling, goes, "Why are streets so wide?" Like he does it like so why.
Let's lock that in. That's a 2-0
Oh,
sweep
it's
for
locked.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Vote on that on Instagram. Who would win of the week on Friday?
We should get a cardboard cutout of Jerry Seinfeld to put in the green room, I guess, just to go along with the two Rons. I think that'd be a good cutout.
We need more Rons.
I know we need a Ron Swanson cutout
And a
to
Ron
complete the
Jeremy.
tray. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think they make
Oh,
those.
they
I hope
definitely
they
make
don't.
those.
I don't want
100%
anything. I
they
don't want
make
anything
those.
to do with that. That guy is so gross.
But just so many Rons.
So many Rons. Too many Rons.
A room full of Rons.
A room full. Welcome back to Room Full of Rons.
We could start another.
A new podcast called Room Full of Rons.
No. I just had such a good idea.
Okay. You want to share it? Lay it down.
Should I?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, do it.
It's about something that you referenced earlier, though, via text.
Yeah, that's fine. Because yeah.
We should we should record our Patreon in the green room and call it A Room Full of Rons. Brought to you by Two.
This is not. We just start every episode like really angrily being like, "This is not Two in the Cooler. This is a room full of Rons. Do not mention that show. Do not mention Two in the Cooler. We are not going to talk about it. This is unrelated. This is our passion project."
And the music should be, the cue and music should be some 70s style, like elevator / theme song music.
Yeah.
Room Full of Rons, brought to you by Two in the Cooler.
Sure. Do it like a real, oh man, like the 70s game shows or whatever.
Yeah, they'd listen to that.
What do you guys think? Would you, and then the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, we should get a light that goes behind our heads that's like
applause.
Yeah, or like live audience. You know what I mean? And we have a laugh
Room
track.
Full of Rons.
We need a laugh track. No, just live audience, and it's lit up red, and then we'll have a laugh track.
I'll tell you what, now that we have been like doing quested and stuff in this space, like doing a variety of shows in here and like, you know, and we've been in here for a while, like the stuff like, you know, you wanting a soundboard so bad and things like that, these are like, you know, like if you really wanted to do that, these are things that are now like really easy for us to, like, hopefully soon we'll actually be able to like get this TV going.
Yeah, I want to control the laptop.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, well,
I mean that would be really easy. Yeah, I could just plug my laptop
well,
in.
we got a cool system to like set up, but
yeah. But I'm saying like that, you know, when we have guests in here, I'm always looking stuff up.
Yeah,
we're talking about stuff.
We can just on the screen it up there.
Like dude, I can't remember. Penelope from Criminal Minds.
Sure.
Look at your iPads, and she throws it on the screen.
There it is.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
In movies, you can throw things on screen so easily.
Yeah.
Can't do that in real life.
No, because they're not even doing it.
You can, I guess, like with Apple products now, though.
Yeah, there's some
like
difference.
Apparently, if you have them like all next to each other, you can throw them.
Yeah, it's relatively easy, but I think we should. I know we haven't talked about it a lot, but I think we should
room full of Rons.
Room full of Rons. If that is the only way to get you to do a Patreon, then I'm in. But I do think we should. It's time to get one going.
At least like we should at least do like 1 or 2 seasons of a room full.
1 or 2 room full Rons. Okay,
yeah, it can be completely unrelated.
Yeah.
But we could just do one episode of a room full of Rons.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
We got to get that Ron Swanson cut out though. I'm sure there's still some in circulation.
Who are other famous Rons? I'm gonna look up the most famous Rons.
Ron Weasley. We can definitely get one of him.
Ron Weasley.
That'll be pretty easy to do.
Ron Weasley. Herabada. Snape.
Man.
Most famous Rons.
You know what's interesting about that's like when people were just putting things on YouTube just to be on YouTube. Like now, like the way we put things on YouTube is like, please, for the love of God, watch this so that our numbers look good. But they were just putting it on there because like this is hilarious and it's gonna make people laugh. And the same like. The first thing I remember being big on YouTube was like a bunch of shitty Lego stop motion things. And the first YouTube video that I remember seeing was a shitty stop motion Lego Spider-Man thing. And the punchline of the whole video was just Spider-Man saying like, oh shit. And you know, it was like 8. So I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is amazing.
Ron Stoppable.
Oh my God, that would be a fun cutout to get. Is Ron Stoppable? Shout out to Ron Stoppable. Doesn't get enough love. He'd be good for a Who Would Win of the Week too. What about him versus?
We did him.
No, we didn't.
You wanted to.
Yeah. What about him versus like Ross Geller from Friends?
I'm looking at Rons right now. There's not that.
Are you just googling famous Rons?
I'm looking at a list of the most like famous Rons.
I think you should go on Amazon and see if we can get like cutouts of Ron Swanson. How much those cost? I need a few.
Because like
Ronald McDonald's
on there, but
Ronald McDonald. No, that's a Ronald. That's a Ronald. That's not a Ron.
I agree.
Fucking Ronald McDonald. That's bullshit. Ron McDonald. Ugh.
Yeah, it's stupid. Ron. I think we've named all the good Rons.
Yeah, we've named the good
So
Rons.
now I gotta go on Amazon.
Yeah.
See if we can get a who?
See, try Ron Swanson first, because we will be able to get a Ron Weasley one. I imagine we have our pick of the litter when it comes to Ron Weasley cardboard cutouts.
I have to pee so bad. After we figure this whole Ron Swanson mess out, I have to.
Okay.
Fuck, it was there. It loaded. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, this is it, but why is it not? Oh, yeah.
Let me see. That's perfect. That's not bad either.
I wonder how tall he is. Let me see the details.
It's got to be life size.
Let me see more. I need more information. Description. Where's the size? I need to know the size. What's it called? Parks and Rec Ron Swanson's cardboard cutout. I hope it's life size.
Most of them are life size, especially for $45.
Yeah, $45. It should be.
That's got to be. That's a lot of cardboard.
Material cardboard. I got Tom Holland. What? Ron Weasley.
Let's see. There you go.
And it's a fairly young Ron Weasley too.
Which one?
Like, it's not the youngest. He's like mid-tier.
No, that's like third. No, that might be third year Ron Weasley.
But like Ron Weasley
Or that
gets
might
like
be
way too
I don't
grown
know,
up.
that might be
Oh yeah, see this one.
older.
This one's got dimensions. 69 inches tall.
Nice Ron Weasley. Hell yeah, dude. He's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, we can get a punch. We can get a Dumbledore one just to have.
Sure.
Throw it on there.
Let's get the whole cast.
Buy 3 cardboard cutouts, get 1 free.
For real?
No.
Oh fuck.
I wish.
I mean, we'll see what
You're
happens.
buying a lot more cardboard cutouts.
All right, we can get out of here. I know you got to pee.
Yeah, like that's the only thing holding me back right now.
Is room full of Rons?
Fuck, I love the room full of Rons. That's such a good idea.
Okay,
Room full of Rons brought to you by Tune the Cool. A room full of Rons brought to you by. We should our introduction should be the guy that introduces like the sets on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah. Like just a classic game show announcer voice,
Yeah.
like a Don Pardo-esque type thing.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to make a theme song for us for Room Full of Rons, send it to twoandthecooler@gmail.com.
Shout out.
There we go.
All right. It's fun being in here sometimes, just the two of us.
I know. That's
I like
why
being back
that's
in here.
I know.
That's
Me
why we
too.
need to do a room full of Rons.
That's why we need to do a Room Full of Rons, because it's just us and Rons, the way God intended it to be.
Just us and Rons, baby. Will Emily have to be there?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Us, Rons, and Emily.
And Emily. Emily can sit outside the door for that one.
She wants to. She don't want to be involved.
Andy, I love you.
I love you too, kid. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.